Hey, what's up guys? It is finally time to show you the sneak peeks for the big update that is coming to Boom Beach. If you want to know what's coming in the update, stay tuned because this is going to be a big one. Let's just jump straight into it. As you can see on screen right now is the new splash screen, the new loading screen for the game. Kind of gives away what's coming, but we already know what's coming anyway from the teasers and stuff. So that's the new loading screen. Personally, I think that's possibly the best loading screen the game has ever had. Just shouts excitement, doesn't it? You know, it's just much better than the boring warships one that we've had up until now. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you like this one? Do you prefer it? Let me know. You want to stay tuned for the video because what I'm going to show you in a few minutes time is amazing. Stay tuned. Let's get the boring bits out of the way first. Yes, we got a new defense. We got the critter launcher, and at max level you get 4 of them. And the range isn't super long on them, and they do have a dead zone in the middle like a machine gun does. I can show you some clips on the screen. They do shoot critters, and they'll shoot at your troops. They'll shoot at vehicles like, you know, tanks and scorchers and things like that. And they won't attack air. A few questions that I know people are going to ask is, do our critters and their critters fight? And I can show you on the screen right now that yes, they do. Our critters will attack their critters, and you can see that they've got a different color health bar, what our critters do. So keep that in mind. They don't appear to be a different color like traditionally enemy troops are red and ours are blue, or enemy critters is red and ours is blue. From the defense, they're all blue. They're all the same color. Critter launcher unlocks at HQ 12 and is maxed at HQ 22. You can see from the video that they shoot kind of 1-2 and then 1-2, then 1-2, then 1-2. But because there's a few of them, you end up getting like a constant barrage of them. But yeah, on their own, they do shoot 1-2, a little break, shoot 1-2, and a little break. If you put ice down, if I crush one of these statues and I put an ice statue down, the health boost from the thing will get applied to the building. If we then crush that one and I put down a damage one like so, you can see that the damage is then applied to the critters. So statues work in exactly the same way with the critter launcher. Any ice boost and that will apply to the building. You can sparky remote these buildings as well, just like any other defense. It's basically just the same as any other defense. Everything else applies to it like any other defense would. So damage amps will buff it. Ice, like we just seen, will buff it. You can sparky remote hack it as well. It will then fire the critters at their own buildings and all that sort of thing. As also asked if you're going to be able to flare onto the defensive critters to take them out, and the answer is yes. As seen in the video, you can flare your troops onto the defensive critters. From what I can tell as well, there is no friendly damage from any incoming damage from other defenses. So for example, if your enemies are attacking you, your defensive critters are attacking them. If your rocket launchers always also shoot, splash damage will not be applied to your defensive critters as far as I can tell. The big one for this one for me is how it's going to affect troops, because as troops land, they will either go for critters if they're already down, or they'll go for a building. And as soon as that building's destroyed, they then target the critters, like naturally. So for people who are doing ground attacks like tanks and scorchers and things like that, these critters are then going to get in the way. You've then got to kill, you know, 8 to 10 critters before you can move on to the next building. Keep that in mind. You might want to play around with that a little bit, just see what happens. You know, potentially the whole force close strategy could be dead. Bug fixes, things like the iOS crash, that is supposed to be fixed. Swapping accounts is supposed to be easier with fewer steps now if you're on Supercell ID. Can't show you that because we don't have that facility on the dev build that I can see. There is new task force backgrounds and middle images. So on your task force, when you create it, you can create that badge. Well, there's now new backgrounds and the middle images. There's some new ones there as well. A little clip on the screen now showing you that. The most recent troops to the game, so things like the bombardiers, the mech, and the new troop that's coming today, the Laser Ranger, which I'll show you in just a sec. Those have now been added to the tribe cycle as well. So now we're going to get tribes for the bombardiers, or the mechs, all that kind of stuff. Talking of the mechs have been fixed and buffed. Whether you knew or not, mechs were supposed to shock the building that they were attacking. That has now been fixed, and they do actually now freeze the building that they're shooting at, which is good. But they've also had a little bit of a buff as well. So the speed has gone up a touch, and the damage has been increased by 2%. So mechs are a bit more viable now. I'll let you decide what you think of them. As you can see on screen now, they are still pretty good. You can see there that they are shocking buildings and stuff, which is cool. So they're doing what they're supposed to do now. Also been a visual update to the tribes regions. So you can see now that they don't have that like background to it or the tribe borders. It's literally just like the full-size map and all the islands and the tribe regions themselves. Here's a side-by-side comparison of what they look like now and to the new ones. Which ones do you guys prefer? Let me know in the comments. I quite like the new ones. It looks a lot cleaner, a lot more fresh. Okay guys, let's get into the juicy stuff. This is what we've all been waiting for, the new troop. We all worked out that it was in fact the Laser Ranger from Boom Beach Frontlines, which is awesome. I'll show you her stats really quick. I've got her maxed out on the dev build. Maxes out at level 12. You can unlock the Laser Ranger at HQ 19, and she maxes out at HQ 25. These are her max level stats. So she's got 557 health, and then she does 647 damage per shot per second, whatever, or 82 damage per shot, whatever. You can see there it says beam extension. That's because just like the Cryoneer, when you level these up, the laser gets longer, you know, it does more damage over a greater area. When we did my live stream, we were talking about potentially how many we'd be getting per boat. I originally said like maybe 2 or 3, and I based that on because how good she is in Boom Beach Frontlines, but having, you know, loads of them on the beach would be really overpowered. Supercell obviously disagrees with that, and they've gone with housing unit size of 3, which means you can get 9 of these bad boys per boat, which is just a little bit overpowered, chat. It's just a little bit overpowered. I'm not gonna lie. I will be very, very surprised if these do not get nerfed. Probably unit size, probably damage, all of that kind of stuff. For right now, they are a lot of fun. They are very, very strong. I'll jump in now. I'll show you an attack real fast. Let's put Bullet on with energy drink, and we'll go and find my other account attack. We've got one loaded up right here. Jump into this one. I've put the defenses together like this because I want to show you just how potentially game breaking these bad boys really are. We all know how the Lasertron works, right? How the Lasertron will target one building and then it does 50% damage to that building, but then it does 100% damage to the buildings behind it. These work in exactly the same way as that. They will do 50% damage to this first row of buildings, but then everything behind it will get 100% of the damage. I've moved my rocket launchers and that stuff back out of the way just because to make it easier. So what we're going to do is I'm going to drop Bullet out in the middle, and I'm going to drop these bad boys down the beach just like that. I'm going to shock the shock launchers, obviously. But yeah, these guys are like having 72 Lasertrons, full-blown Lasertrons, like max level Lasertrons, 72 times on every battle. As you can see, they are somewhat crazily overpowered, which I'm all about, chat. I'm all about overpowered troops. I absolutely love this. I think this is absolutely epic. But as you can see, they are just a little bit strong, just a tiny bit overpowered. Obviously, not everybody's going to use them like that. I am. That's exactly how I'm going to use them. I'm just going to bark the rocket launchers and just drop Bullet with lasers in behind and just watch the base just be completely melted away. I know what people are going to ask though. They are going to ask what are they like for smoking, which I haven't actually tried yet. So we're going to do that right now. Flare down on the beach. Okay, so we're going to get them landed. As you can see, they are quite fast. So keep that in mind if you're going to try this. And then we're going to flare them up. I'm going to go smoke, smoke, smoke. And see how much they spread. So they spread about the same as Zuka's would. Not a great deal. Enough that you'd want to be putting down 2 smokes at a time. And then as you can see, once they all get unleashed, they just absolutely melt the entire base. As you can see, they are broken, guys. They really are broken. They are so strong. Once the shock launchers and rocket launchers and stuff gone, I mean, they don't have very much health, so mines will kill them pretty easily. Rocket launchers haven't really got much of an issue with taking them out. So keep that in mind. They are quite squishy, but as you can see, the damage that they do is just nuts. I want to show you what they're like at level 1 when you first unlock them. So these are now level 1. Still the same unit size, so you still get 9 per boat. Health is 312. So like I said, they are quite squishy. 480 damage. If we go back onto the same base again and do this exactly the same attack again, Bullet will also be level 1 now as well, which isn't great. But for science purposes only, we're going to put all these guys down like that. Put down some shocks. And as you can see, they're not quite as overpowered, but they are still very, very effective. You can see there that like the non-defensive buildings are just getting absolutely wrecked. This is still unboosted. This is only with only 4 troop damage. So not even like most people have probably got at least 4 troop damage. So even at level 1, the range on them is quite long. They do really good damage. They are very, very viable. These could well be everybody's go-to for map clearing for now. It's certainly going to be mine. So when is the update coming then, guys? As far as we know, the update should be landing any day now. Obviously that can change depending on if something game breaking gets found, then potentially it could be held off. But as far as we know, fingers crossed, it should be in the next couple of days, hopefully. We have found a couple of bugs and we're hoping it's going to be fit before it goes live. Some operation stuff and, you know, bits and bobs that are kind of broken, but we're hoping that gets going to be fixed before we go live. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this update. It's pretty big. Obviously the critter launchers, the way that whole thing works, the new interactions, the new coding that's needed for troops to attack critters and critters to attack troops in a defensive and offensive ways. That right there is a lot of coding. That's a lot of work. So critter launchers are pretty good. I'm I'm impressed. I'm happy with them. Laser Ranger, I think, is just crazy. It's outright nuts. It's like having 72 Lasertrons, and yeah, I'm going to be using them to clear my map every single time because that is so much fun. A few bugs that are fixed, like iOS things fixed as well. That's good. So yeah, most of it is 99% of it is great. 1%. Yeah, the bugs being broken and stuff, but that's game coding, guys. That is what it is. So that's it from me today, guys. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe, and you're using code BBTFRG. We really appreciate you guys doing that. Make sure you comment below, let us know what you think. I'm going to be reading everybody's comment, and I will reply to you as well. So we'll have a conversation in the comments about what you guys think. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.